Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you very much for watching. Today I have a look that I've done with the Natasha Denona Sunrise palette. Now, I haven't used many of the bright colours in there. I've really stuck to the golds and the apricots and oranges on this end of the palette here. I would like to do a look with these really bright colours at some stage too. Now the palette is a little bit smaller than her normal palette, so the pan sizes are smaller, so it makes it more affordable. So I purchased this from Sephora online. It was $101, I think, compared to her normally, you know, $230 something from Sephora. At the time I ordered it, I did receive it last week. It was only available online. So today I've done a little bit of a gold cut crease for you. So I've used a couple of different golds on my lid here and 2 or 3 colours in the crease and above in the transition area. So if you'd like to see how I achieve this, then just keep watching. Okay, so I'm going to start out with my P.Louise base, and on my P.Louise brush I'm just going to prime my eyes. Now I've already done my skincare products, my primer and my foundation. And then I've just left the rest of the products to the very end of this video. So this is quite light. This is Rumour 01. So it's one of the very, very lightest primers in their range. So all over. And then I'm just going to get my really lightly dampened beauty blender and just go over and just try and smooth that just a little bit more. Okay, so the first colour I'm going to go into today is this real rust colour here called Jasper. Looks absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to try and go for a gold sort of look today. So I'm really concentrating more on this sort of end here of the palette. So I'm going to go in with my Too Faced All Over Shadow Brush, which I love for packing on colour. I'm going to try and do a cut crease today without that corner that I normally do. So I normally go in and then create that outer corner. So I'm going to do something slightly different. That is really packing on the brush. It's beautiful. So once again, just really relaxing my eyes and going in and just packing on that colour. Now I've been really inconsistent with my filming. I haven't mentioned any of this on my channel as yet, but I do have a lot of problems with depression and anxiety and pain. I've got injury in my neck, and I also suffer from fibromyalgia as well. So I'm not working full time now. We have a business, and I used to work like 10 to 12 hour days, and even before that, when I worked in advertising, I was working 10 and 12 hour days, going in on Saturdays as well. So I ended up with fibromyalgia from that. The injury in my neck was from a whiplash injury from four-wheel driving, where I hit my head on the roof of the car. So I've really battled, I think, really since the birth of my first child, which is nearly 23 years ago now. Crazy how time flies. And really battling with the pain in my neck. Is just 20 something years worth. So I go from almost manic from being depressed to being really quite happy. Out of a 2-month period, I can be depressed for like 2 weeks of that 2 months, which is not great. And then last Wednesday, I've been trying to get this palette filmed for you for a week, but last Wednesday our dog died, and she obviously was part of the family, really part of the family. She's absolutely beautiful. And I mean, she was actually my eldest son's dog, but she was mine as well. So we buried her last week, and I mean, I know it's not a person, but gee whiz, just really hits hard. I'm feeling very, very, very wrinkly today. So I've got that shape in there, and I ordinarily go down into that corner there, so I'm just going to skip that today. and see if I can do a cut crease without it. That's really quite a true rust colour. It's absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to go in with my Urban Decay contour brush. I'm just going to go in with a lighter colour. This one is called Morgan, so it's an apricot colour there. And I'm just going to blend out the very edges of that colour. Just in a tap and pull sort of motion. Right into that inner corner and right up into that brow bone there. So I'm trying to go just on the very edge of that colour. Now with my hooded eyes I do need to go up quite high with those two colours there, which doesn't leave me too much space underneath my eyebrows. But I'm going to go in with an E40 from Sigma, and I'm just going to go in with this very light colour here called Morning. It's a really peach sort of yellowy colour. I just want to go over the very edge of everything. Or the last colour that we put in, I'm just going over the very edge of that. Okay, cut crease. I'm experimenting with this brush here, Anastasia number 3, which is a tiny liner brush. It comes to a little point. So I had a couple of goes doing a cut crease with that, and it just seems to be a little bit easier. So I'm going to give that a go. So I'm just going to pop a little bit of the P.Louise base on my hand, and then I'm just going to saturate that brush and go in with that. And what I'm trying to do is actually just draw the line without actually pushing and placing, pushing in and pulling. So I've got to make sure that nothing transfers because of my hooded eyes, so I need to basically go in and map out where I want this to go. And I need them to be both even, seeing as one of my eyes is worse than the other, or lower than the other. So I'm going to go in and basically just try and draw this in. Because I've got wrinkles and my skin is old, it's moving all over the place, so it's a real hassle, and it's very hard to do when you've got this kind of eyes, aging eyes. I think that might be a little bit easier. I might go in and try and hold my eye steady now and go back over it. I think it's a little bit easier. I don't know how perfect that line is though. Sometimes I do videos and I just think, why are you doing this, Nicqui? Because it's just not, really not working the way that you want it to work, and my self-esteem just goes plummeting through the floor. And sometimes things I think, oh look, you're just as good as somebody else doing this, so why not keep going? You know, I know a lot of people don't see my videos. I only get about 30 to 60 views on every video, but I do enjoy it, and I do know that there are some of my viewers out there, you know who you are, that watch every single video and do enjoy them, so that makes it worthwhile for me. Okay, so I do think that that brush does make a little bit of difference with perfecting that, especially like I said with that hell of a job that we've got with the eyes that just, eyelids that move all over the place all the time because of our wrinkles and our age. So yeah, I think I might try and stick with this brush for a little bit. I think it does make it a little bit better. So So what I'm trying to do is get up high enough so you can actually see the colour that I've got on my lid with the cut crease here, but actually still see those colours that we've put in. So my hooded eyes, you can actually still see those. The battle is actually getting the other one to be the same. So what I'm going to do is just pat that off a little bit with that P.Louise brush, because I don't want so much product on there. And just be ever so careful right in that inner corner there and right up where you're going close to that line. I want it to be tacky, but I don't want it to be soaking wet either. So I can feel that getting a little bit more tacky now on the brush here. So what I might do, Day Spring, which is that beautiful gold on the bottom there, which is a little bit more coppery. So I might try and do the inner and outer corners with those, with that. And then go in with Laurel, which is a little bit more of a true yellow gold in the middle. So we'll see how we go. So I'm going to go in with the Makeup Forever flat brush with Day Spring, and I just want to place that on the inner part of my eye here. Okay, so that gold's on. It is a real sort of coppery gold, that one, and like I said, Laurel is a little bit more of a yellow gold, so I'm going to go in with that. And this is a MAC 239 packing brush, and we'll just go down the middle with that one and hope it's a little bit brighter, just for a little bit of difference. You can really see the texture in my eyelids when I use a shimmer eyeshadow. Okay, I'm not quite sure if I like it. As usual, one slightly lower than the other. It's just so hard with hooded eyes and wrinkly eyes to get that line really perfect. So the struggle is definitely real. Excuse me. So I'm going to go ahead and fix up the under eye and then continue on with fixing up this outer edge here with a little bit of the concealer and the rest of my makeup. Okay guys, so that's the finished look for today. I hope you like it. I'm not quite sure if I do. I think I might try a gold look next time without a cut crease, just with my finger as well, and just some more neutral brown colours, just to see what that's like. So I do like the palette. I would like to play around with a few of the other colours here. There are some beautiful colours in here. These pinks and the yellows. It kind of reminds me of the Huda Beauty initial palette that she put out. So if you like the look today, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, subscribe, click on the notifications bell so you're notified when I do upload some more content. I'm really thinking about doing a video on pain and depression and anxiety, so if anyone's interested in listening to my story, please let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. So I'm really seriously considering doing that on a day when I'm not too down. So keep being the best version of you, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.